Hello, everybody. Jess Lowe, Structural Building Components Association, another weekly update. It is July the 10th. We're almost a third of the way through July already, but hopefully you had a great 4th of July weekend. I know I did. I was over in the western part of the state with my family at a wedding. So, Lindsay, Barry, congratulations again. It was a great time. I'm glad we got to be a part of it. So, beyond that, you guys missed me last week, I'm sure, but a couple things to talk about. Wanted to talk about our SBCA Honors Dinner. So, this year, we're having a dinner Tuesday night of BCMC week. You may have heard me talk about this a little bit more. We're getting a little bit more meat on the bone, if you will, to chew off at the dinner. But it is going to be at the Durham Museum. It's an old railroad station that's been converted into kind of a museum. It's right along the tracks. It's got very much a railroad theme. So if you love trains like I do, or Dr. Sheldon Cooper, as crazy as he is about trains, you should be there. And even if you're not crazy about trains, you should be there if you're crazy about SBCA. We're really going to turn it into kind of a celebration of the association and everything that we do throughout the year. We're going to honor our award winners. We're going to be talking a little bit about the foundation. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we've accomplished as an association through our staff, through our committees, through all of our combined efforts, and really just a time to celebrate what it is to be a part of SBCA. So you want to register for that now after that glowing recommendation I just gave you. So when you register for BCMC, it is in that same link. So as you go through that and you're choosing all your options, like if you want to run the 5K or do any of the other activities, that's one of them. It's going to be $79 per person, no tables, just individual seats. We will try to seat you next to some folks, and you will have to add a significant other if you're bringing one for that. But that's a pretty simple registration through BCMC as well. Now, the one caveat to that, if you are an exhibitor and you registered your booth and your registration is tied to that, you will have to reach out to Ali directly to add your registration. It's not that we don't want you there. It's just that the system and software, and we all know how software is. It's great most of the time, but this is just one of those limitations that we want to make sure you're there, but make sure you reach out to Ali to get yourself registered for that. We will add it to your registration that way. So it's going to be a great night. The food was amazing. Tested some of it, back when we were there for one of the site visits, and really just looking forward to kicking off BCMC week. We will already have had a day of education Tuesday, and as well as a few other outings, but really getting into Wednesday with our, keynote speaker, and going into Thursday before the industry celebration, which is always a favorite of mine, which means we successfully made another BCMC. But beyond that, a couple things to talk about. SBCA Foundation. We probably won't be doing as much fundraising at the dinner this year, but probably throughout BCMC week. I think that's an opportunity for us to really drive some awareness there. But what I wanted to talk about is Andrea Patton is now on our team as our philanthropy and outreach coordinator. Been introducing her to the foundation trustees this week. They are just welcoming her with open arms, and she's getting to know them a little bit. We got a meeting coming up next week that I'll probably talk about as well. But a lot of good things happening with the foundation. Really, again, if you're not familiar with it, I'd suggest you go to sbca.foundation. Instead of .com, it's .foundation. That's the extension or whatever it is there. But, take a look, get to know it a little bit. We want to get some people involved there in the good work that we're doing. We've been working with Operation Find My Home, some other, entities, our hardship grants. If you're not familiar with them, again, if you've got somebody in your organization that might not be going through the best times and they could use a few dollars, that's an application for that, whether it's one of the recent, weather events, or maybe it's a sickness and illness, something just not going right in their lives and they need a little bit of, something to help them through it. That's an awesome opportunity to get to know the foundation, recommend them for that, and we'll go through that process. And then some of the other things we've been doing there, you can learn about that. So beyond that, industry awards, we've secured the nominations. We went through them. We're going to have 2 rounds of voting. However, there are a couple of awards where there are only a couple of nominees, so it will be the final. So make sure you get next week when this first round of voting comes out, make sure you participate. And for 2 of the awards, I believe it's Hall of Fame and the SBC Industry Leadership Award, there will be 2 rounds for that. But for the Dick Bowman Enthusiast and the Dwight Heichel Humanitarian, there'll probably only be going to be 1. And then there was a 3rd award, the Norm McKenna Chapter Service Award. We had the same individual nominated multiple times, and he was the only one nominated. So it'll be fun to reveal that when we get to that honors dinner. But make sure you vote next week when that comes out, because those things are important. It's important to the people that win. It's important to our association to make sure that we recognize the people that are contributing. And even if you were up for a nomination or you weren't, still know that your hard work towards the association is valued, because we would not be anywhere near the organization we are without all of our tremendous volunteers, not only this year and today, but for our last 43 years, isn't it now? But we've got a great opportunity to really recognize those folks when we get to the Durham our SBCA honors. So with that, I'm going to close up with a couple things. Birthday week next week, we've got Shannon, who's been out this week. We're thinking about you, Shannon. But we've also got Jennifer and Richard. So Shannon does the digital QC support. Jennifer is our director of finance. So if you don't pay your bill, you probably hear from her. Which reminds me, let's get those dues dollars in and make sure we get that done, so Jennifer isn't yelling at you before she goes on vacation. And then Richard, he helps out with our QA. He's one of our auditors for the SBCRI. So if you're hearing from him, you're probably doing some good work with the audits and getting your QC inspections in. And then finally, before I wrap up, some chapter outings. The Northwest Truss Fabricators 42nd annual golf outing was this week, and I haven't heard who the winner was, but I'm sure it was great. I believe they were in Mukilteo, Washington, if I remember right, but always a great time out there. And, this time of year in Washington is absolutely gorgeous. And then coming up this Friday, T-Mat's going to be at a baseball outing. I think it's Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers, if I remember right. So it sounds like they had a real influx of attendance right at the last minute. So the good folks at T-Mat are working through that with our team, and we'll figure that out. But again, it's great to see chapter activities up and going. And if you have a chapter, talk to Talia. She'll get you fixed up with an outing or something that you can do. And if you would like to start a chapter, that's how I got into this whole game. But we'll see where that goes. But it is an opportunity that we do want to support our chapters every which way we can. So with that, I am beyond my time, but I'm taking a little back from last week that you didn't get to talk to me, or I didn't get to talk to you. Either way. With that, I'm going to sign off. Till next week, peaks up, press on. Have a great week and happy July, and let's go get them.